Harry, this is Lord Potato. This is What if Asta was the son of Sosuke Aizen? Part 4. Yes, it's part 4. Unless you're hearing that noise in the background, it's just me locking the door. I'm still figuring out why is it that hard for me to close. Not the point. But let me go into this what if and shut the fuck up. But before I do that, what was I gonna say? Oh, never mind. Fuck it, let me go into what if. Also, no recap, so yeah. That hasn't been 1 month. All my Naruto what ifs, I know I'm gonna have to do a fucking recap for it because I know all of them are either a couple months old, yeah, a couple months old. Fuck. But not the point. Let me go into this what if and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah. So, we go into, well, the Magic Royal Knight exam. Of course, everyone is kind of like being there. Well, some people. Not like every fucking Magic Knight's being there. Like those who are there in original canon. Of course, there's also some that are actually kind of not, that wasn't there for original canon. But yeah. Of course, this is where, well, the Black Bulls are wondering where Asta's at. This is where, well, they're just kind of watching their kind of other members do it, like Noelle, Junko, what's called Magna, Luck, and yeah, and also Zora, but no one actually knows Zora's basically from their like Magic Knight squad. The only one that actually knows about Magic Knight squad is actually Asta. When Asta actually gets there, well, no one actually knows where Asta, because they can never sense Asta's pressure or presence unless he wants you to sense him, or kind of feel the pressure of the Kariatsu, spiritual pressure. But yeah, of course, where, well, so many people are confused with the name Asta, who is actually the first team. Team A contains of Asta, what's called Mimosa, and even what's called Zora. And Zora says, seriously, this guy is light? For fuck's sakes. Mimosa says, wait, Asta. This is where she thinks that day that she actually, well, met Asta. Well, not the first day, that one day they were like in that what's called festival and all that, and how Asta appeared in front of her, like if he was some kind of like god for her. But yeah, this is where her face is becoming pink and all that. This is where Zora says, what are you doing, Royal? And Mimosa says, nothing. No, nothing. This is where, well, Noelle saying, seriously, where is he? This is where, well, someone appears right in front of the team when they realize, well, Julius realized that Asta isn't going to be here. Damn, and I want to see all the moves that he has. Of course, this is where the team is still going on, the Team A versus Team B. But of course, Asta appears in the look of, well, fucking time. Of course, he just did a dramatic entry by kind of like blasting the ground in front of Mimosa and Zora. This is where Asta says, sorry, I'm late. I just had to do some stuff. Pretty much Asta just kind of just watched the whole thing from far away. Well, not far away. Close up, but no one actually noticed that he was there. So yeah, it's still kind of difficult to even sense where he's at. But of course, one person only noticed him being there, and that is Yami. Captain Yami already knew that his vice captain is kind of somewhere hidden, and of course, no one actually knows that he's there. Of course, Yami didn't say anything because his vice captain, well, he isn't trying to like get rid of Asta from being his vice captain. Because yes, he does have his other vice captain, but that fucker is just somewhere doing whatever. And of course, where Yami, he just sees Asta as his second vice captain. But yeah, this is where, well, Asta says, yeah, sorry I'm late. Hey, Mimosa. Asta smiles with like gentle smile. This is where, well, Mimosa says, Asta? This is where she passes out, but yeah. This is where Zora says, okay, you might be some snot-nosed brat who's from some royal magic knight, or not royal magic knight, some royal family, aren't you? Asta says, royal? I'm a commoner, you idiot. Zora, from what they call the Black Bulls. Zora says, huh? How do you, what? Huh? Asta said it quietly, so of course, Mimosa didn't hear her, none of the others. Yami was the only one to actually know that Zora's actually part of their kind of squad. This is what Zora said, how do you know? Oh, do you think I don't? I'm the second vice captain in what they call the Black Bulls. I'm gonna figure it out sooner or later, you idiot. Zora says, wait, you're You're the second vice captain? Then who the hell's the first? Some idiot that kind of goes and tries to be hero or something. The shadow hero or something of wherever he's at. I don't actually know where the fucker's at, but just know that he's somewhere. This is where, Zora says, I'm not gonna listen to you even if you are the second vice captain. Wasn't planning you to actually listen. I know that your actual magic is something else. I know about your tiny bit of the magic. I know what you haven't planned. You don't want to actually tell us, but just know this. Your magic will only work if we become a decoy. This is where, well, Zora says, damn it. I won't. This is where Asta says, you won't? I know. Asta kind of went straight towards Zora, and of course Zora said, what are you doing? This is where Asta actually mentioned has grew up to be 5'9". Only in a week he actually grew up to be 5'9". Well, 2 weeks entirely. But of course, this is where, well, Asta is actually the same height as Zora, and of course Asta just put his hand onto like Zora's like, what's it called, like shoulder, and of course this is where Zora says, what are you? He felt such a weird overrunning pressure of power going through him. Asta kind of just gave him spiritual pressure. You see here, Asta had, in those 2 weeks, Asta actually been training and figuring out stuff that he actually found out. Asta can actually create people, well not create them, kind of give them a small percentage of his spiritual pressure, or however much he wants to give, and they will gain the power of whichever race that he wants to give. So let's say that he wants to turn someone into a Quincy. He can, but they won't be as strong as like in the original Quincy. So yeah. I know that some people are gonna ask me, you mean they can just become a hollow, right? Like an Espada. No, I'm actually gonna change it so he can actually create them to be either Soul Reaper, Quincy, Fullbringer, or even what's it called, a Espada hollow. I know that all of you are gonna be fucking confused and say why. Because Asta isn't just a, well, Soul Reaper. He isn't just a Soul Reaper mixer of Aizen and, well, what's it called, his mother. He actually got experiment on before he actually left the, what's it called, Wake Mundo, with the hollows to this world. He's actually a mixture of, well, human a little bit, Soul Reaper, Quincy, Fullbringer, and even, well, a, what's it called? Yeah, just say Soul Reaper, Fullbringer, Quincy, and Hollow. So yeah, also it's kind of a mixture of that because Aizen did experiment on him to actually create him to being that kind of perfect being. He wanted a perfect son, so he wants his son to be kind of strong. So of course, Asta can actually create people into actually becoming a Pacific race that's, well, Pacific race that he wants. Or he can give them all the 4 race powers, and well, they become one of the ultimate commanders that Asta wants. But yeah, I should also mention, you're wondering what happened to Jim Grau. Jim Grau is still in Wake Mundo. He's actually the one to be ruling over it. Because, well, the others hasn't been really awoken. And Asta isn't really planning to awaken them unless it's something really serious. So, of course, he just told Jim Grau to just go there and just, I don't know, fucking train. So, yeah, Jim Grau has been in Wake Mundo for a while. And Asta has checked on Jim Grau, and Jim Grau has tried to fight Asta, but Asta mostly whoop his ass half the damn time. Because Asta, he might be looking scrawny a little bit, but really he's not scrawny. He knows how to fight. He still contains all the memories from the fact that he was, well, kind of helping train. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, mostly from this life and kind of got memories from the Hogakyu. But yeah, this is where, well, we go into Asta. Kind of saying, so, how's the power? What's it called? Zora? Zora says, huh? What are you talking about? This is where Zora actually has, like, this, how should I say, he has, these, like, stink bug, not stink bugs, like, say, what does he, because, what Asta kind of gave him to kind of transform Zora into is basically a Fullbringer. Yes. Well, no, did I say Fullbringer? Wait, did I say Quincy or no, Fullbringer. Because Fullbringers usually use an item that they are actually close to it. or like that one dude that kind of uses like a PS4 or not PS4, PSP to kind of like shut off the like connection from like the whole war or something of one town or something. But yeah, Zora actually has what's it called? This like how should I say? This like trap device that he kind of just started creating, and of course it's like this like button that actually when pressing it, it explodes on anyone. Of course, well not yeah, it's like what's it called C4, but instead what's it called? You press on it and it explodes. But with this button, it's actually when he presses it, spiritual pressure around him actually explodes, transforming him into whatever he needs to kind of be. Either kind of making multiple traps or increase his speed or whatever. But yeah. So what was I say? What did you do? Asta says, don't worry about it. Don't you worry your silly little head. Asta smiles with this creepy smile. Zora gets kind of terrified of Asta's smile. And Zora Asta says, let's just go. Besides, I'll take on the weaklings. This is where Asta disappears and reappears right in front of that guy that's in the tree. Asta says, ah, you must be interesting. Well, I should take your life, shouldn't I? Haro, number 55, Lightning Destructo. This is where a lightning beam from the sky destroys this guy, knocking him out. This is where the other two kind of widen their eyes and sees, well, Asta just walking towards them with just a casual, it looks like he's just walking casual, like a casual Sunday or something. This is where Asta is saying, this is where both of them shoots the attack at, well, Asta, because of the combined attack. Asta, what he does is just catches it with one finger. Yeah, he just, no, not catches it, mostly blocks it with one finger, and kind of just like pushes it somewhere else. He just like tosses it somewhere else and then does destroy a tree next to him. That's where Asta says, whoa, 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 you guys are really attacking me now? I haven't fully even attacked you. This is where both of them wind their eyes. This is where everyone in the stadium is kind of winding their eyes and how powerful Asta is. They know they did this, well, they already know that Asta did something similar towards that one festival because Asta did catch the wind spirit arrow from Yuno, and Asta just crushes it. Like he grabs her shit and breaks it. Yeah, Asta didn't give a shit that time. This is where Yuno can see how powerful, well, he's hoping that Asta didn't get that powerful, but it looks like he did. Because Asta just blocked that shit with one finger. But really, Asta just kind of added spiritual pressure just to kind of block. And kind of just push it away. But yeah, that's what Asta saying. I don't really like walking all the way over there. So I do this. Asta puts one of his fingers up like in the air straight towards them. Like pointing at them. Settle. This is where a kind of like yellowish like ball appears. Like this yellowish color that kind of had like some silver in it, just sent straight, like a ball just became a beam straight towards the two of them, blasting them and blasting the crystal with them. This is where destroying that whole part of the, what's called, well, not region, mostly spots. This is where the beam just flies past the other people that are kind of watching this. They're like, holy shit! This is where, well, Asta says, sorry about that. Asta smiles with this creepy smile, but of course so many people are winding their eyes. So many girls are still just having heart in their eyes because of Asta, but yeah. Asta is basically looking like Aizen. This is where Aizen, well not Aizen, mostly Asta just like, well, time to go. Asta gets to Mimosa, and Mimosa will still pass out. This is where Asta kind of grabs her pride out, and this is where, well, Sora says, is that really necessary? You can always just kind of throw something at her to wake her up. Asta says, I'd rather carry her. It's fine, I don't mind it. This is where, well, Zora says, whatever. This is where, well, I'm gonna change his device. Instead of being a Fullbringer, it's basically just the little figure that he has. I'm gonna change it to being that instead. So of course he does kind of become the figure that he kind of, if he uses a Fullbringer, his hair will go, well, into a different like color, but it's going to be same color. It's just going to be much shinier. Think of it like Super Saiyan, but yeah, not really. But I'm just kidding. I would think of what his Fullbringer would be. It. Well, I didn't really mention what it is, but yeah, I'll mention later. And so where, well, Asta, he does also add some spiritual pressure into, well, Mimosa. this time Mimosa is not going to be like Zora. She's not a full bringer like Zora. She's actually going to be completely different species from Zora entirely. And that is, she's actually going to be human, but she's actually going to have Orihime's abilities. You see here, Orihime from Bleach, she has the ability to kind of like heal people, but also reject people's like wounds and all that or something like that, and be able to attack at the same time. And even though Orihime and Bleach was kind of fucking useless, not gonna lie, because she didn't use the attack power at all, Mimosa's going to be kind of the opposite. Well, she still is nice, but she will protect her friends. But yeah. So I don't know why they made her kind of useless. Orihime was still pretty decent. I would say better than Sosuke, but you know what? That's just my opinion. I don't know. Probably Rukia was better than Sosuke, but you know. Just because Rukia can actually go find Kai and use her, Princess Ice, or was it Ice Princess? I don't remember. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Before I keep going on, is the other series, like the other Bleach characters, going to meet Asta, being the son of Aizen? Well, a couple of people I had in mind will actually meet Asta, but that'll be later on. You're wondering who? Well, you're gonna have to wait, because I have some people that I'm thinking for Asta to actually meet. Now, is he gonna meet any of the other Quincy's or, the others like Fullbringers or anything like that? Well, I have a couple of OCs I have, but maybe or not. But yeah, it's just a maybe. Now, let me go into this what if. Also, I should mention one thing. I know this is still like in the middle of the what if. I should mention that I have a it's either going to be the 2.9K or the 3K special. But I remember kind of like sending this like a kind of community tab about 5 months ago. About 5 menaces going into one world. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one, but I just forgot how the anime actually works. But yeah, or not animation. But yeah, don't worry, I'll go watch it later after I watch Black Clover. But yeah, I'm still on a couple more episodes. But not the point. Let me go back into the what if. So of course this is where Asta, who is right now just up towards the stadium. This is where multiple Black Bulls rushes up to Asta and says, "That was amazing, that was so cool." Luke says, "Fight me." This is where Magna says, "That's bullshit, what the hell is that?" This is where Gordon says, "Good job, my friend." And this is where Asta says, "Thanks, Gordon." This is where Gordon says, "I hope you're never near my sister again. I don't want you to use that anywhere near my sister." Asta says, yeah, I don't care. This is where Ghost says, "I'm gonna kill you." Asta says, "Do it and I'll murder you first." Asta has a cold personality. Yes, it's just like Aizen. It's just sometimes Asta shows his other personality that's actually kind of nice, and actually worries about his friends. Unlike Aizen, who kind of has this whole complex of not liking anyone, and truly not trusting anyone. He is basically alone. Asta's the opposite. He just trusts some people, but at the same time he doesn't. So yeah, he's not fully Asta. He's just a mixture of personality of being like Asta and Aizen, because he does kind of have like Aizen's personality of like not trusting people. But yeah, unlike Asta, who actually just trusts almost everything. Like this one, Asta's not gonna trust anyone that much unless he has met you, he gets to know you, he can see through your fucking fake lies or none. If you don't have anything to lie about, he doesn't need to really kill you or anything. But yeah. But we go into, the other teams. Of course, this is where the second team is like Soy's team. Well, mostly like Magna, Soy, and that one pretty face dude going against that one team. They get destroyed. Mostly Soy's team managed to win. The next team is this, the next team is that, and whatever. But of course, this is where another team kind of appears. Junko from the Black Bulls, Estef from the Blue Roses, and of course the third teammate being what's it called? Someone from the Crimson Lions, that's actually able to kind of use fire also. Well, not fire. It's mostly what's it called? She's from the Crimson Lions, and of course this is where she has like red hair And of course, she has like bluish eyes. And of course, she is kind of like able to use fire to an extent that's pretty strong. It's like this kind of pinkish and reddish flames, but yeah. Of course, they're a little bit stronger than normal orangey flames, but yeah. This is where, well, she is on that team, and of course they do go against another team, but the other team gets destroyed. But whatever. They usually get burned, froze, or even manipulated to being kind of depressed. This is where, well, we go into the next team being Asta versus, well, Pretty Dude. The Pretty Dude says, you don't look that bad for a commoner. Almost saying, I hope you die. This is where, well, he says, but the only thing that's ugly about you is you don't have any mana. So, you're going to, well, for being a commoner, you truly are ugly inside. Asta says the one who's probably uglier inside, you're probably a goddamn huge ass ugly monster. Don't give a shit, shut the fuck up, and fuck off. Asta kind of walks away. This is where almost his brother say, you. This is where Soy kind of looks at Asta, with just kind of looking at him, and this is where Asta turns around, and kind of his hazel eyes meets up with her kind of bluish eyes. Asta kind of like just does a like small smile for her, and this is where Soy's face becomes red and kind of looks away. This is where, well, Magnus says, what are you doing? This is where Soy says, nothing, let's just go. This is where, well, we go into the battle, and of course, this is where the brave boy face says, that's it. Rose petals, well not rose petals, he says, blossom tree petals. This is where, well, so many blossom trees actually appear, well not blossom trees, mostly the petals of the blossom tree actually appear. This is where it's just kind of all around and all that. Asta sees this, but this is where, well, Mimosa kind of feels this weird energy because when she woke up, she felt a little bit much stronger. Now, of course, this is where, well, she actually felt Asta's pressure, her actual, well, not her, mostly his actual spirit's pressure. Zora can actually also feel it. This is where, well, Asta can actually keep, kind of like keep a small, like Ryotsu around him, kind of like a small little thin energy, just so people can actually see him. Because if he just takes it off, people are going to go, where the fuck is he at? But of course, they can sense it a little bit, but they don't understand that it's not magic. Asta is saying, you're probably wondering what I did to you two. Thanks to this, like, Sakura petals, whatever kind of happening, I can explain to you what you two are now are. Mimosa, I'm sorry for kind of, well, sending energy into you, kind of like, well, your permission. Zora, I don't give a shit. This is where Zora says, huh? Wait, you did that to also her? But why? She's a noble. You see here, she doesn't have any attack power. And her healing might be great, but she will not have a greater healing factor. Well, healing anyone she wants to. This is where, well, she has a great healing factor. And also, well, a defense and attack power. She will be able to attack anyone. This is where I wants to say, huh? Wait, what do you mean? Do you see those like little clips on your hair, right? I kind of put it there so so you can have, but yeah. This is where, well, what was to say? Yeah, I do see that. This is where she pulls them off. This is where she kind of throws one up in the air because Asta did tell her. And this is where, well, the attack one appears, saying, what? Where am I? You must be my new servant. Then, well, not servant, you must be my new master. I will help you in any attack power. That's where the other, well, 4 appear. That's where, well, the defense and the other 2, well, other 3 are kind of healing, but yeah. That's where Mimosa says, so adorable. Wait, wait, so they're mine, right? Of course, I only listen to your command. Now, Zora. Well, she has something special that's only for kind of humans. Well, she still is a human. That didn't really change anything. I just gave her a power to kind of like have that ability. You, on the other hand, is now a Fullbringer. A what? A Fullbringer. You are a special type of race that a couple of people might have in this world, or might not have them. Whoever knows. Also did kind of experiment on people that he met from different villages that wanted power, and of course also decides to give them power. Of course, mostly testing out if we can transform into a different race. which there are some people that are actually Fullbringers in this world. I shall mention that later. Some people are actually going to be quite familiar in why they became a different race in having more power. Even though they then have a drop of magic sometimes. Well, only drops, but not much. And so where, well, Zora says, the fuck is a Fullbringer? Whatever you hold precious to you, Zora. This is where, well, Zora says, I don't hold anything precious to me. Really, there's one thing that I can sense that has a lot of spiritual pressure and Ryasu in it. Something that you really holds pressure a lot, like precious to you. This is where, well, Zora kind of grabs a little doll that his father made to him. And this is where, well, he says, so you're saying this is the thing that's actually precious to me? Of course. It would help you. That if you wanted to help you. You don't need to use the abilities that I just gave you, you two. You can always just use your magic. It's just a small thing I wanted to give towards my teammates that I will be here with. But if you're wondering, will they stay with you forever? Of course. They will not leave you. Even if I leave and go to some other place far away from you too. Doesn't matter. You still have the abilities. Even if you want to neglect them, that's fine. Asta says, but whatever. If you want to do that, and that doesn't matter. Asta, he like slaps the air once. He just used some special pressure that actually appeared in his hand. That was a large amount. That this is where both Mimosa and Zora are winding their eyes. This is where Asta smacks the air away, mostly like the Sosuke petals, and they all just destroy this spell in an instant. That's what Asta says. But I should mention one thing. If you neglect it too much, your spiritual pressure will keep building up, and might, in the near future, might lose control. But if you want me to help you, I'll help you. Mimosa. Zora. He kind of just says Zora without care that much. This is where Zora says, whatever. Fine, I'll use it. Because I just want to kick all the shit out of the nobles. Sure, kick their teeth in. I don't care. This is where Mimosa, she is kind of seeing Asta in a different light. Yes, she sees Asta to still be this nice person, like the last time she remembers, but sees him as this strong, powerful, really powerful person. But of course, he's not that arrogant, like, what's it called? Well, Aizen. Aizen has a god complex. Basically, he is basically God. He imagined himself. But yeah. But if I can remember right, they usually call Aizen the false god or something. But yeah. Is it where? Well, Asta says, well, whatever. See ya. Asta disappears in a flash dip, and of course, appearing right in front of the three teammates of the beauty guy, Magna, and even Soy. Soy sends a earth attack at Asta, but Asta dodges it. This is where, well, Zora starts sending, well, not Zora, mostly Magna starts sending fire attacks at Asta, but before any of the fire attacks even land, multiple spells appeared. 2 times spell, reflection. This is where the trap magic actually appears and starts sending them back towards Magna. Magna says, wait, what? He smashes into a wall. This is where, well, Mimosa's brother says, I do not care. I will defeat you. You will not defeat me. Sosuke petals. Bind me. This is where, well, he tries to bind Asta. And this is where Mimosa says, defense. This is where the little clip of whatever entity, I forgot what it's called, appears defending the attack from, well, Asta. And of course, where, well, Asta says, so you actually decide to use those abilities I gave you. Mimosa says, of course. I won't let you get hurt. Attack. This is where the attack thing actually appears. And this time Mimosa does have anger towards, well, her brother. And this, well, yeah, she had almost all the time anger towards her brother a lot. Like original canon, but yeah. This is where the attack nodded. And this is where the attack blitzes from the, well, thin air. Appearing into like a bright, flashing, like yellow light. Stabbing into the sky right now. But of course, it didn't like hit any vital points. It just goes through him like if it was like some kind of jab. This is where, well, he coughed up a little with blood and said, "What? That isn't something a Mimosa can do." No. This is where, well, Asta appears saying, You should really not give that much lower credit to your sister. She's very beautiful and amazing. And you're just a scumbag. Asta grabs him from the neck and smashes him to the ground. He is passed out. Mr. White, well, Asta then sees Soy, and Soy says, "Damn it! Those two useless men are useless." Asta says, "I suggest you should give up." Well, then again, you are a warrior woman, so I'm guessing you won't give up. Mr. White, well, Soy says, "I won't give up. I won't lose." Okay, then you can fight me in a hand-to-hand combat, or whatever you want to use. I'll use nothing but my hands. So he say, then that would be too much of a weakening for you to do. This is where she sends multiple earth styles at Asta's earth spikes, but before even getting close to Asta, Asta just uses a small little pressure of Ryotsu to blast all the things. Asta says, "I did say I will use nothing, no weapons or nothing like that, but I never said I wasn't going to use my Ryotsu." That's a little shame for you to believe that. Well, I will actually be that much an arrogant idiot. That's what Soy widened her eyes. She thought that Asta was being really arrogant, but Asta's really too damn smart for that shit. He's not stupid enough. Asta says, "But it looks like you lost." Kido. Yeah, is it Kido? Kendo. I think it's Kendo. He says, "Kendo, number 45, binding of, what's it called, of earth." Well, not earth. He says, "Binding of ice." This is where ice sickles appears all around, well, Soy. Then it started kind of binding around her and freezing her. She's like, "Why is it cold?" This is where, well, I was going to say, "Sorry, but it looks like you lost." Zora says, "Got it." Of course, Zora's hand is right now kind of like becoming this different color, red, because it's basically his spiritual pressure right now. He is basically using Fullbringer. The item that he uses, a little doll, actually has something that if he unlocks the power, he actually becomes just like, well, the thing that he believed that he wanted to be, or mostly his father wanted to be. And he believes now. So of course his hair is actually a bright reddish color. And of course this is where, well, Zora punches. I should also mention one thing. Zora's eyes, they are kind of like a bluish color. They're actually glowing like into a brightish blue. And this is where Zora punches the thing, breaking the crystal, just shattering into a million pieces. Zora says, "Fucking stupid nobles." He smiles with evil grin. But Masa says, "Thank God." Masa, who kind of goes to Soy and just like snap his fingers once. This is where the icicles and, well, mostly prison kind of destroys. And this is where she says, "It's so cold." This is where Asta puts the coat over around her and says, "Are you okay?" So it goes red and passes out. That's when Asta says, what the hell did I do to make her pass out? This is where Zora says, "What do you mean you don't know? The hell, are you fucking love dance?" This is where Mimosa says, "I want to feel the fluffy jacket." Asta, I should mention, has a coat. Yes, he does wear a coat similar towards Aizen, but instead of being white, it's actually black and with some white on it. But yeah, like his shirt is kind of like a white shirt, but most of his coat is black, and his pants are like a mixture of white and black. But yeah, this is where it's not like mix, it's just a mixture of different things on it. Mostly a pattern, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Asta is kind of like wearing black shoes, I should mention, but yeah. That's where, well, Asta says, "Great, I'll carry her." That's where Asta kind of starts carrying her, and she is passed out. And this is where so many girls are kind of wondering, what the? He's actually respectful. But this is where all of them are thinking in their head mostly. But yeah, this is where no one wants to be that person. She's kind of really jealous, but yeah. This is where, well, Asta kind of puts her down, kind of lays her down. And of course, where the healer does kind of check on her, kind of anything she's hurt on. He does heal, what's it called, Beauty Guy, and of course can see that he does almost have like a dislocated neck and all that, a bone part and all that, because also just smashed into the ground. This is where the other dude, and also does have a wound of circle, like a hole in there, because yes, Beauty Guy did get hit by something, by Mimosa. And of course, where, well, Magna is just having fire damage on him because he got his own fucking attack smashed upon him. But yeah, this is where, well, that happens, and of course, where, well, Also did take back his coat. They kind of put Soy onto the ground just to see if she's okay. But yeah, Oda did say that she was okay. And yeah, this is where Asta says good. Oh, I should be going. Asta starts walking, and of course he gets towards this kind of washing place. But yeah, next team is Longris versus Finral. And Finral and Longris start fighting. Of course, Finral is trying to win. And of course, I will never give up. Just like Asta, he showed to me that I shouldn't give up. This is where, Finral unlocks the angel spell and actually starts the fallen angel spell and started blasting the attacks of Longris. This is where, before the attacks actually smash upon Finral and actually make Finral lose, Finral actually unlocks something else. This is where, Finral actually felt lighter. Like he felt lighter, but for some reason. He jumped out of the way, and of course, it looked like it slowed down time, or whatever it looked like. But he's just moving a little faster. He appears right in front of Longris, smashing a knee into Longris. He never thought he would actually ever do that. Longris smashes into a wall, winding his eyes, and says, "What the?" This is where, Mimosa and Zora kind of wind their eyes. They can feel the same energy that, Asta had around him, but now on, mostly on Asta, but also on each other, but now on Finral. Finral, yes, he has now unlocked something new. This is something that Asta gave all the Black Bulls. Even though none of the Black Bulls can actually notice this, a few of them kind of met Asta during his training, but yeah. This is where Finral was confused, but this is where Finral jumped away from Longris. And this is where a greenish color appears, kind of making a bow, and this is where an arrow appears. This is where he sends an energy arrow straight to Longris. Longris dodges, and a great chunk of the rubble from an earth mountain and all that, just gets teleported. This is where, Longris widens his eyes. Finral is now the race of Quincy. But his magic is containing with his, Quincy form. So, of course, he can shoot arrows of energy that will teleport anyone that gets hit. And, of course, will damage you because, yes, the arrows are still sharp like an arrow. So, yeah. That's why, Longris widens his eyes and says, "How? You are just a weakling, a useless brother. You shouldn't be able to win." That's where, Longris starts sending multiple more attacks to try to damage or kill Finral. Finral makes multiple energy arrows of his teleportation of, yes, this is the fallen angel and all that he sends multiple fallen angel arrows at, the attacks. They all kind of pierce through attacks and almost hit Longris. This is where Longris is seeing how strong Finral got it. He says, "No, you are dead." This is where, Longris appears behind Finral by kind of jumping over and kind of trying to split the ground underneath Finral, which Finral jumped backwards. But this is where Longris appears behind Finral and says, "You're dead." This is where Finral shoots an arrow in front of him, but instead the arrow goes up and then backwards, straight towards Longris' direction. Longris winds his eyes, and this is where when he gets stabbed, he gets teleported. He's like, "No!" So yeah, this is where Longris gets thrown into somewhere, and of course, he is now teleported across the map. This is where, Magna and, not Magna, mostly Leon and the other two is kind of, mostly Leon sending a fire attack, ferocious lion attack that's almost burning the crystal. This is where one thing happens that, Finral never thought. He lost. Even with the discovery of the Quincy powers, the crystal couldn't hold up the amount of just moving it a little bit, because when Finral was going to touch it, or not even touch it, just use its magic to kind of pull it, so it didn't break or shatter. It shatters from the fact that, Finral was getting tired. He unlocked this, but at such a bad timing. But of course, the crystal did manage to shatter, and this is where before Leon can actually destroy the crystal, it was a burning, almost crushing it. But yeah, this is where the girl says, "Yes, we won." This is where Finral falls down to his knees saying, "No, I fell. Damn it." This is where, Finral felt tired. He falls down forward. And of course, Longris managed to get towards Finral. He says, "You bastard, disgusting. You should die." he sends a very powerful, well, what's it called? That one powerful, like a ball of energy. And this ball of energy was pretty big that was about to hit Finral. And this is where everyone in their eyes say, Finral! This is where Asta appears, cutting the thing in an instant. Yes, Asta appears using his sword to cut it in an instant. And of course, the thing obliterated. This is where Longer's arms gets pushed back. He winded his eyes. What the? Asta said, are you okay, Finral? This is where when he ducks down to check on Finral, he can see that Finral is okay. He's just breathing really heavily. He's tired anyway. He did get wounded a little bit from the attacks. Before even kind of unlocking Quincy. So yeah. This is where, well, Asta says, at least she didn't die. Happy enough. This is where Asta gets back up. And kind of, he still has his blade out in his hand. And of course, this is where he points his strike towards Longus and says, I'll kill you in an instant if you touch my senpai. Or, well, not my senpai. He mostly says, my friend. Because, well, Finral doesn't have any power over, well, Asta. Because Asta is basically second vice captain. So, of course, Finral doesn't have any power over him. Because, well, Asta basically outranks him. So, yeah. So, this is where, well, Longus says, you disgusting filth. I will kill him. I won't let anyone get in my, this is where, well, chroma state. This is where, well, the Longus is put in a chroma state by Julius. And this is where Asta noticed that a blank space behind him was actually put into a chroma state also. It was basically, well, who was put into a chroma state was basically Finral. Mostly because Julius did try to put Asta in a chroma state, but of course that didn't really work. He actually accidentally put, what's it called? Well, no, he did put Finral into a chroma state, so he wouldn't start bleeding out even more. So of course, where Julius says, okay, that is enough. I know that you didn't actually attack him, Asta. So of course, I know that you're only here to defend, well, your members of the Black Bull, since you are basically, well, the vice captain of them. Also says, you this, well, it's that person over there, Longus or whatever his name is. He's the vice captain of the Golden Dawn. Can I fight him? Here's where Julius smiles and says, of course. I always wanted to see a vice captain from different squads fight each other. So sure, why not? Asta smiles and says, of course. Good. I was actually waiting for a fight anyway. That's where, well, Julius nodded and says, okay, well, it's time for the different members to go on for the final battles. Well, a couple final battles. Longer's team versus Asta's team. This is where, well, the teams actually appears, and of course, let's just say, sorry about that, Zora and Mimosa. I have to fight him. For being the vice captain of his own squad, I'll be the vice captain to fight him anyway. This is where, well, Zora says, give him hell or something. I want to punch the shit out of someone. Maybe I should go after the blonde dude. Mimosa says, I'll go after the girl with ice. This is where, well, she's actually being really serious because she can see that, well, her vice captain was actually about to hurt something. Well, someone precious towards us, like a friend of his. So, of course, she's kind of angry of, like, Longer's doing that. This is where, well, Asta says, good. Now, Zora, I do not really want you to kind of, well, leave the crystal. But, if you really want to beat the shit out of that dude, I will give you the chance. Who do you really want to go? Because there's two blonde heads. The noble one would be cool, but I know it's vice captain versus vice captain, so of course, I'll let you do that. I'll stay behind to weigh in the crystal. This is where Asta says, fine. This is where, well, Asta goes and starts walking. This is where Mimosa starts walking in the opposite direction to kind of get to the other crystal side. Mostly to get and use her kind of like magic, or even what to call her, well, her Soul Reaper abilities. But, you know, well, not Soul Reaper abilities, human abilities, but they're, yeah. Okay, I don't actually know the name for it, but yeah, it's basically other human abilities, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into Asta, who's right now standing on a mountain hill. Standing there, kind of being calmly. He doesn't have his sword drawn out. And this is where, well, Longus is standing there on top of a mountain, showing that he looks like he has the high ground. Anakin, I have the high ground. Oh, no, not Anakin. Yeah, Anakin, I have the high ground. Don't do anything foolish. No, I'm just kidding. But really, also say, so you're just gonna stand up there, you fucking short, fucking brain dead idiot, trying to kill your older brother. Such a disgusting thing to do. This is where, well, Longer says, I'm going to kill you, peasant. I'll kill you. He sends multiple attacks at Asta. Asta, what he does is unsheath his blade and cuts through all of them. This is where he only swung his blade once horizontal and it cuts through all of them in an instant. This is where the person's like, I want to die! Rushes and blitzes towards Asta. Right now trying to use his like portal magic, well, offense portal magic that's in his hand, trying to destroy the ground or even try to cut Asta. Asta, what he does is flash up right in front of him. This is where Longers realized that Asta's way too close. Asta cuts him once in the cheek. This is where Longers grabs the cheek and says, you disgusting peasant, I will kill you. This is where he sends attacks at Asta more, offense attacks. This is where, Asta, he just cuts them once. Yes, he did it again, horizontal cut, and just cut them all instantly. This is where Longers is getting angrier, and angrier. He is being just drove into nothing but piss and anger. He is fully just radioactive piss at, Asta. He's saying, you will not get in my way. No one will get in my way. I will win. I am the strongest. This is where, Asta sighs and says, you really see yourself as the strongest. Fine, then let me help you out there. This is where Longers then sends a giant ball of offensive attack straight towards Asta. Asta says, I did show this off in the beginning, but for a disgusting fool like you, I should probably kill you. Settle. He says settle. And of course, where a settle appears in Asta's hand. Well, not a settle. This is where Asta says 95. Huddle number 5. 95. Black coffin. This is where, when Longer sent the attack, a black coffin around him just appears and destroys him in an instant. He falls down to the ground. Right now, pass the fuck out. Asta wasn't really gonna kill him. Pretty much just hurt him enough to show that he was just nothing to a pathetic idiot towards him. Asta then uses his right hand to grab the offense attack and just crushes it by kind of just like touching it, but then just kind of putting his hand into a fist ball. And of course, this is where the spell just destroys in an instant. This is where Aaron widened their eyes. Just holy shit, how powerful is Asta? This is where Mimosa is now right now using her vines to grab both the girl, the one from the Aqua Tier, and also the guy from the Green Praying Mantis, mostly Haha guy. This is where Haha guy is going. This is where Mimosa says, I should probably let Zora have fun. This is where, she kind of uses the vines to pull the person down to the ground, mostly Haha guy, and kind of drag him all the way to Zora. This is where, Haha guy appeared, saying, huh? What just happened? The crystal. He's rushing towards it, and of course, this is where he steps on a, trap. This is where he freezes, and this is where Zora is laughing, saying, that's interesting. You're a very idiot fool. A very dense idiot fool. Don't know how you got here, but she really destroy you. Mimosa, she having cold eyes in her eyes and saying, I should probably get rid of you. Aqua Tier. This is where the girl gets scared and says, huh? Holy shit, you're scary there than I thought. Don't worry. Attack. This is where the attack one actually appears in the entity and says, yes, my lady. Sent a very fast jab attack, but instead of hitting what's called the Aqua Tier girl, the crystal just gets shattered into a million pieces. Before Zora even had any time to he had time beating the shit out of, Haha guy. He's saying, you're a pathetic idiot excuse. Magic Knight. Definitely not from the Green Praying Mantis you are at quality. You're just a weak moron that can't do anything. That's where, Haha guy is already passed out for a while, but yeah. Of course, this is where, Asta is kind of just, you just see what's called Longer's on the ground, knocked the fuck out because, yes, he is gone. He's just knocked the hell out. That's where, the crystal's broken, and of course, Zora didn't have much more time to just beat the shit out of Haha guy, but yeah. But of course, this is where, well, Asta, who is just like saying, well, that was pretty easy. This is where Asta starts walking towards his team. This is where Mimosa says, sorry about that. I didn't really want to kill you or anything. This is where Aqua there says, yeah. This is where the dome around her did break, because yes, she did have the ice dome around her, but yeah. This is where, well, Zora is saying, well, I had to deal with some pathetic weakling. Whatever. Now I get to talk trash to the noble. Yes. This is where, well, the noble is down to the ground, Longris, and of course, this is where Zora's talking so much smack towards Longris that Longris kind of woke up, but he can't even do one magic spell. Zora is just keep talking so much trash to him. This is where Longris managed to do one spell, send it straight towards Zora, but of course, this is where a chat magic thing happens and blasted it back towards Longris. Longris is getting angry because the elf is right now taking possession. Asta notices, but he just kind of goes up to Longris, and of course, decides to just say, interesting. So you're just a possessed elf, I see. This is what Longris says, how did you? Also said, number, what's calm? He says, Kendall, number 65. Remove her soul. This is where, well, 2 souls are removed from Longris' body, but of course, one is an elf and the other one is Longris. Longris is the kind of like kiddish one who's kind of just annoyed with everything, and this is where the other one is the elf who's kind of angry with everything. This is where Asa puts back the soul of Longris, the original one, and takes the elf soul and kind of just says, well, you can come in handy. Asa puts him in a bottle and just shuts him off. This is where Asa says, this is very interesting. I'm keeping it. This is where, well, both, what to call, Zora and Mimosa was going to question this, but they just said, nah. This is where, well, Asa says, you're probably asking, what did I just do? Well, I don't want to say. This is where, well, both of them nod and says, yeah, sure. This is where, well, next team is, well, Yuno's team versus the Aqua Deer captain and another. And of course, this is where, well, Yuno still managed to win. Noelle actually, what's it called, created water sea armor. And of course, had a sword instead of the, what's it called, giant drill thing, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, she managed to cut down the enemy squad, but yeah. And even destroy, what's it called, Solid, but yeah. That's where next team was, well, what's it called, what was it? It was, what's it called, Junko, Estef, and also someone named, what's it called? Her name is Colin, and of course, this is where, well, she is kind of saying, so our team is just going against this weakness again. Another type of weakness up here. And of course, they're just OC cannon fodder, but yeah. This is where next is kind of like a odd 3 versus, well, it's a 1 versus 1 versus 1. So yeah, it's 3 teams versus each other, so free for all. This is where Yuno realized that this was kind of odd even. Julius is, interesting. So it's a free for all. So it's 3 teams versus each other. So yeah, good luck. This is where, well, all of them kind of narrowed their eyes. Asta, who's having a calm face and very calm. This is where, well, Yuno gets quite annoyed because, well, he thought Asta would kind of be too excited and actually fight him. Asta is kind of calm and looking towards the other team instead of looking towards Yuno's way. And this is where Yuno says, Arr. This is where, well, he thinks that Asta is doing this on purpose, which Asta is doing this on purpose. This is where, well, Zora says, this could be bad or good at the same time. Asta said, if we can eliminate those 2 teams, then we don't need to fight anyone in the finals. This is where Zora says, I guess so. This is where Mimosa says, so, should I be defense? No, you 2 should be defense. I'll go offense. Zora, I know your trap matchup will be really good. Mimosa, I know your vines and, well, also your earth, well, what's it called, your vine magic and other stuff can actually work pretty good in this defense. What about you? I have a very powerful idea to actually do something. This is where, well, he said, Kendall, number, what's it called? He says, Kendall, number 45, or not 45, 5 clones. This is where clones appear of Asta, and this is where, well, Asta then says, Wait. This is where, well, no, ignores the clones. No, it's not the clones. She remembers the baronet. I wasn't gonna make a new one. This is where, well, Asta kind of says Kendo, number 67, Esto Melanuno. Or wait, let me actually remember. This is where Asta says Mela Escanudo. This is where a green, like, what's it called? Like, so many hexagons actually appear all around. Well, all of them also appear around both. What's it called? Not Esra. No. Zora and Mimosa. Mostly in their kind of like 4 sides front, side, backwards. Also on top, so being a 5, and also on the bottom, so being 6. This is where, well, Asta then puts another barrier. It was a weaker barrier, but of course he puts it also on there, saying that you guys will be fine. This barrier allows no one to be able to get in, not even spatial time users. That's where Asta says, now it should be off. Asta disappears, and a blinding speed of light. That's where Asta sees, well, what's it called? When he gets up in the air, he sees, well, Yuno and Estefore fighting. Yuno says, get out of my way, I'm not here to fight you. Asta says, but I'll be fighting you. Ice style, ice swords of convertication. This is where multiple swords appears trying to stab upon Yuno. Yuno blasts them all away. Say, I'm not here to fight you. I'm here for Asta. Asta says, yeah, you two can just fight over there. I'm just gonna go to your crystal, Yuno. Asta flies past, and Yuno says, Asta! He sends multiple wind arrows at Asta, but Asta just dodges them by twisting them in the air. And this is where Asta is getting straight towards the crystal. The one thing that actually almost attacks him was actually Noelle using her kind of, well, armor. Her water armor, saying, I won't let you get through, Asta. Asta says, good to know. The fungus tries to attack Asta. Asta dodges and twists in the air and says this is going to be quite annoying. But I have some people to kind of help me. Right, Jim Grau? Jim Grau says, I understand, my sir. Well, my lord, I will help you. What about the others? I'll be summoning them later. You will be first kind of fighting against that fungus guy. I understand. He flies towards the fungus guy in blinding speed, crushing through the fungus. And seeing the fungus dude, the fungus dude just starts sending multiple magic spells at Grimjaw. Grimjaw is uppercutting this man, punching him in the stomach, kneeing him in the stomach, and also kind of like punching him in the face, kind of kicking his ass so hard. This is where Noelle realized why in her eyes. This is where, well, she doesn't know who the hell this person is, but this is where Asta appears, sending a powerful kick down towards Noelle. Noelle blocks it with her sword, saying, I won't let you win, Asta. Sorry, Noelle, but you're gonna have to let me win. Why don't you let me win, beautiful? Asta kind of licks his lips, and this is where Noelle blushes. Of course, she kind of shakes her head and says, no, I won't let you win. This is where, well, Asta says, aw, what's that? So mean of you. Wait, did I say Junko was from the Black Boss? Oh no, she's from actually the Blue Rose, but yeah. This is where, well, or not Blue Rose, let me just say Pink Flamingo, but yeah. This is where, well, I was thinking of another fucking what if, but yeah. This is where, well, no, what's this? Damn it, I'm gonna lose. No. This is where, well, something appears. This is where it's Junko. This is where she actually adds her magic to try to affect them both, to try to make their emotions go down. This is where, well, Noelle kind of felt depressed. Also didn't feel anything. Instead, he just smacks the air once and destroying the spell. This is where Junko says, damn it, I'm gonna lose too easily. This is where, well, Asta says, you're quite annoying. Sorry, but I won't let you get in my way. Asta, he uses his sword, he pulls it out, and this is where Asta says, Inuzami. This is where, well, both of them felt like they were actually fighting Asta, but Asta appears behind the well, cutting down the crystal. This is where everyone was actually affected, because they all thought that Asta actually got stabbed by Noelle. But really, the crystal was destroyed in an instant because Asta just uses one of his illusions from his sword ability. Asta then walks away and says, too bad, Noelle. Sorry about that. Noelle said, no! How? I stabbed you! Did you really though? It's a shame. You haven't actually figured out anything about me. This is where Noelle's like, you fucking bad. This is where she starts cussing at Asta. And this is where everyone in the Black Bulls just winding their eyes, never actually hearing Noelle cuss. And Solid was also there, just kind of winding his eyes, seeing his youngest sister cussing up a storm. That's where Yuno went his eyes, realizing that the crystal was broken, saying, "No, damn it, how can I let this lose?" That's where, well, the girl named Colin is now at the crystal of, well, what's it called? The other team, mostly because she did kind of made a fire clone appear in the other crystal, thinking that no one would go after theirs because she kind of found out that the Golden Dawn boy kind of has a rival with the vice captain of the Black Bulls. When she gets to the crystal, she sees both of the teammates in a barrier made with 2 other barriers. So yeah, she says, "Fuck!" This is where Sora is laughing, saying, "Ha! You can't get in through it, can you, bitch?" This is where Colin says, "I'm gonna burn through you, you bastard." She's getting angry because, well, she can't actually get through it. This is where, well, she says, "Fuck, I hope my crystal isn't broken." This is where the crystal is broken. Both Golden Dawn team of Yunos and Asta team is destroyed in an instant. Team A. Winner is Asta. What's it called? Mimosa and Zora. This is where everyone goes, Asta smiles and says, "Too easy." This is where, well, the fire clone of, well, Colin dissipates, but yeah, because she did have a huge slash down the middle because Asta did cut her down. This is where, well, Asta already knew that this was only a clone because he threw a rock, and of course it just went through her. He just realized it's a clone. That's where, well, Asta says that was too easy. This is where, well, so many people were in their eyes. They were doubting on this team, and this team just whooped the shit out of all of them. This is where Noelle was getting held back by Vanessa and Gray and not trying to kill Asta. This is where, well, Asta says, "So, Noelle, are you okay?" Noelle says, "Okay, yeah, I'm fine. Let me just stab you into a million fucking pieces." Asta says, "Sheesh, you're angrier than I thought. I thought you'd be so calm and nice and you wouldn't be this angry." This is where, well, she is nothing but pissed at Asta. Asta just keeps smiling at her, and this is where she's getting more angrier and more flustered. This is where, well, Asta says, "Well, other than that, I should keep going. Besides, I did win, and I should definitely laugh at Yuno." I wonder if Zora would help me out if we kind of just laughing at him. "Hey Zora, you want to go talk to someone that's kind of, for right now, in such a depressed state that it's kind of funny? You know, it's another Golden Dawn member." Sure." This is where, well, they're laughing at Yuno, and of course Yuno is getting quite annoyed, saying, "Shut up, Asta, and you shut the fuck up, you red-haired bastard." This is where, well, Zora says, "Sorry, but I don't hear a loser talking." This is where, well, Yuno is saying, "I'm going to kill both of you one way or another." But you can't," Asta said, "because, you know, you're too weak." This is where, well, Yuno is getting quite annoyed. He is right now such a close inch to just send an attack at Asta. This is where, well, Julius managed to calm them all down, saying, "Okay, we'll calm down. Now, everyone will be able to get into the Magic Royal Knights because it's not just about the winner, it's about your skills. Now, this is where, well, you will all get the notification in about a week. But," this is where Asta says, "Hey, can I say something first?" Julius says, "Sure, Asta. What do you want?" "Can I not be in the Magic Royal Knights exam? Or, not a Royal exam. The Magic Knights. I have things to do. And I don't want to be bothered with going after some elves or whatever." "Oh, okay. Wait, what? Wait, what? What do you mean that we're going after elves? Aren't elves just extinct and all that?" "No, you're going after reincarnations elves. Which is stupid enough for me. I don't want to be bothered with those stupid elves. Besides, I managed to grab one of the souls. This is where the elf is right now cussing up a storm in the bottle of a soul and all that, and this is where Asta says, "This little guy was basically in Longres, and I managed to take him out. So I'm going to just do my own thing and not give a shit that much, so good luck." Asta starts walking away, and this is where, well, Julius has so many questions. Everyone has so many damn questions, and this is where Asta says, "Hey, Finro, can you make a portal for me? I want to go back to Black Bulls." Sure, because Finro on this one wasn't really hurt and wasn't in a coma state. So, of course, he makes a portal place, and of course, Asta jumps in, and this is where he walks away. Julius is kind of shocked, not unbelief. He is shocked, dumbfounded, and other stuff. He is just purely dumbfounded. This is where, well, Asta gets back to the Bible hideout and just decides to go to sleep. This is where, well, he talks to the Hogakyu. And the Hogakyu says, interesting. Very interesting. What do you want, kid? You told me if I would have won this, if I would have figured out some stuff and experiment other things and all that, and figure out my abilities, you would tell me about my father. Who is he? Hogakyu sighs and says, fine, do you really want to know about your father? Yep. Also, can I know about my mother? I don't have much information on her. Your fucking father never put that much information about your mother. Actually, he did. It's just he was wondering if you would never ask that question. Mostly ask about him. He had a very arrogant personality. So yeah, that's what I was like. Quiche. Sounds like a bastard. Can I just know about my mother first? This is where we go into a different world. Aizen just sneezes and felt like his son just betrayed him or something, and not talk about him. This is where we go into Asta's mother, who is actually named with Ko. This is where Asta's mother, Aizen, was right now just kind of like learning some stuff from her captain and all that, or her old captain, because she just became the squad of 4 and all that. Of course, well, Aizen kind of felt like she just sneezed and felt proud about something in her motherly instinct that her son is actually talking about her. This is where she actually starts praying. This is where, well, her what's called old captain says, "Are you okay?" Yeah. Aizen says, "Yeah, I just felt like my son is talking about me. I don't know where he's at, and I do want to find him. So, what about the others? Have they managed to find him? The squad, the scouting team?" This is where, well, captain says, "No, we haven't found him." Damn it! I'm gonna kill Aizen if I actually do manage to. This is where, well, her captain just puts a hand on what's it called, Aizen, and says, "Calm down. You shouldn't go after revenge. Just we'll find your son. Don't worry about it. I missed so many years of his life." This is where she starts crying a little bit, but yeah. But we go into Aizen saying, fuck, why do I feel like my son just betrayed me? Why do I feel like he called me an arrogant bastard? Damn it. I did put a lot of information about Aizen in the Hogakyu that I made. I hope he just looks just like me, but with some grayish hair. Wonder what color of eyes he has. Aizen has green eyes. I have brown eyes. Should be a hazel mixed color. I wonder if he's the same cold personality like me. I wonder if he has the same personality like me. That'd be great. Father and son ruling over this kingdom. Ruling over a lot of things. Damn it. I wish I wasn't stuck in this place. I would have trained it myself. But, whatever. We go into Asta, and of course, Asta, he is actually being told by the Hogakyu about his mother and who the fuck his father was. His mother was named Izuna Kyoha. Of course, she was a nice lady that kind of got mixed up with Aizen, also known as Sosuke Aizen. I also found out that his father's name is Sosuke Aizen, his mother is named, what's it called? Well, Izuna Kyoha. This is where, well, Asta nodded and realized what their abilities are. Aizen had a sword that allowed him to kind of put people on an illusion. This is where Asta kind of felt the same with his own sword, but yeah. But for now, I'm going to leave it off here for part 4 of What If Asta Was the Son of Sosuke Aizen. Well, other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato sleep, potato, and good night. Potato.